Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vasolabs and what I built. So I have here beside me an ultrasound machine. And with this machine, I can see the layers of my artery. I can see plaque and I can see buildup. All of these layers are very visible. I can point them out and I take the image and I save it for you. I also can measure the thickness of the wall arteries, just like this. 0.485. So it's about half a millimeter. That's how thick my artery is. So let's share this with you. Get rid of my big mug. The studies I've uploaded to this PAC system, picture archival, retrieval, and storage. You can see since last October, I've scanned myself and over about 50, 60 times, you'll notice the measurements are getting tighter. I've measured myself with 3 different modalities. One is on the ultrasound machine itself. And let's take a look so I can show you. Well, right here. We'll get to that. So let's look at the images. On the ultrasound machine, you're going to see images like this. And the number that says mean, that is the average. That is how thick your intima and media is. It's alive, this layer of your artery. It breathes, it exchanges nitric oxide with the blood. And there's many functions we're learning about. When you exercise, the vessels need to dilate, and that nitric oxide needs to be exchanged. This wall layer gets thicker when you have damage, diabetes, blood pressure, anything wrong that could cause heart attack or stroke. This layer gets thicker. So those measurements are imported. These are what we call the bonsai IMT measurements. We also measure it with an AI learning platform. Right here, you'll notice, well, let's go through. Every study has the same sequence of images. The right common carotid artery, the main trunk. This is a long axis or sagittal view. This is the blood flowing through that sagittal view. That blue up above it in this image is the jugular. The red is going up your carotid. And this is the speed. Anything less than 150 is fine. 125 is fine. This on my own artery is an atherosclerosis body beginning to grow. That is a plaque. This is it from the top down. This is it from the side. And let's see, here's a top-down view of that inflammation. I've measured it. I've measured how big the artery is. I know how big the blood flow is. And that atherosclerosis area is measured from the outside to the inside. We're getting better at mapping that in real time. More to come on that. We're mapping the right internal artery. So we work our way from the common up to the bulb, up to the internal. Right here is a nice open area where it feeds up to the brain. You can see the intima nice and clear. And you'll notice that it's a bit thicker in the bifurcation. This is where it splits into 2. There's another invisible here that you don't see. But that inflammation is the beginnings of arterio and atherosclerosis. So red is going up to the brain, or blue is going up. This red is a little bit of retrograde, a little bit of backwards motion. And it's no coincidence that the irritation in the lining and the backwards motion flow of the artery is very important. So again, we measure how fast it is. My blood speeds are fine. And this is another measure of the intima and media. Half a millimeter, clean across. I got standard deviations. This is an FDA approved measurement ultrasound technique, and that's inside the ultrasound machine box. And then the CVAT program we're measuring right now in, we draw these constraint bars and we get a good measurement. These are saved and brought back to a screen like this inside the lab where we can generate reports. So let's take a look at any one of them. I can see my left intima media thickness, my right as measured. The artificial intelligence measures in that sequence. We take the same 6 images for that plaque, and they're always the last on each side, right and left. Because these images are tagged, it actually doesn't matter when you take them, so long as they are tagged. Once we have this data, We generate a report. We send it to you and your patient. The intima media measurement is relayed to you in vascular age and percentile. Plaque, that is arteriosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is the plaque that's in the artery wall. These are not big enough to have made it onto my report, but they're definitely there. I think a discussion with the patient to show up is very important. The plaque needs to be bigger than a millimeter to show up on the report. The average IMT is less than a millimeter. Mine is half. So that plaque is not yet thicker than 1.00 millimeters. So it is not noted on the report. However, on the very bottom of the report, we give you those velocities we took and any plaque we may have noted. So this is the tool I've made for physicians to have a conversation with patients to democratize ultrasound for everyone. This is a powerful tool. Thank you, everybody. I really feel like this is has the opportunity and potential to save a lot of lives. Godspeed.